Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we are expecting a mini set announcement likely this week, as the Heroic Brawl will be ending on Wednesday, which usually means the following mini set will be announced like that day or possibly Thursday, launching next week. And I wanted to go over what I would like to see come to the mini set, as well as kind of what I expect to see it. And well, based on the thumbnail, you might have an idea that, well, there might be a colossal arriving. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like you earned your subscription, please hit the sub button down below, give the video a like, it helps the channel out a lot, as we are on the road to 69,420 subs. It's on like Donkey Kong. Oh, that was very cringeworthy, just like my shirt, but hey, that's what we roll with around here. So I tweeted this out back right before Christmas, December 23rd, that the last mini set of the year always borrows mechanics you used throughout the standard year. And I really hope Deathlight gets a location or perhaps a badass colossal minion. A ridiculous hat here respond with, I want a Syndragosa colossal very badly. And I like that because that sounds cool. Syndragosa's a cool dragon. I don't know Warcraft lore at all. I looked up the summary of the Vicious Syndicate podcast, and both Zach and Hat again predict a Syndragosa thing. And I'm like, okay, let's look this up. Why would it be Syndragosa? And basically Syndragosa is a mighty frostworm who's raised by the Lich King himself at Syndragosa's fall in Icecrown. So just imagine, we don't have a dragon colossal. Could be really cool. I don't know what the mechanic would be. Maybe we'd do something with corpses because, well, that would be really rad. Would it be limited to a specific rune? I hope not. And just to play to the theory of a dragon colossal even more, I did a video back in June about dragon colossals leaked, as there was a patch put in by Hearthstone that adds colossal minions for cards for like Lady Prestor. Lady Prestor transforms all the minions in your deck into dragons, which led us to be like, well, there are no dragon colossals. Why would they make this update? And we all know they make cards well in advance. So that's just kind of leading to the theory that, yeah, maybe we're getting a dragon colossal for Death Knight. And apparently, according to the lore, Syndragosa would be a pretty good fit. Again, not big on lore. I didn't read through this whole wiki thing, but it would be really interesting. It seems to be what people want to see happen. I've had chatters mention it. And why do I think a colossal can happen? Well, if you aren't aware, the mini set acts like a greatest hits. This was the Onyxia's Lair, the mini set of last year, and it reused a lot of keywords. We zoom in here, like just for example, Welt Bonker used Frenzy and Honorable Kill, two keywords used throughout that year. Tradable, which came in United in Stormwind, was also used on like Drakefire Amulet, things like that. So they reuse mechanics, they can reuse styles of cards, SI cards. We have the SI quest in United in Stormwind, they reuse that. If you take a look at the current Hearthstone expansions from this year, we can get an idea of what they could reuse. So in Sunken City, the mechanics are quite simple. Dredge, you basically look at the bottom three cards of your deck, put it to the top. We have the colossal minions. This is what I mean. Death Knight does not have a colossal, and this would be an amazing time to introduce it. We had an interview with Cora a month or so back where she confirmed there would be no hero card for Death Knight in the mini set. She declined to comment on a colossal, so I think it's quite possible, and according to the lore nerds, Syndragosa would be the way to go. Castle Nathria had locations. Again, Death Knight does not have a location, and when we had the Death Knight leaks and all of that a few months back, it was data mined that location files for Death Knight, a template, was found in the game data, so it makes sense that a location could be there. Again, what will it do? I have no idea. Maybe it could be corpse general, and would it be rune restricted? Would you rune restrict a location? That would seem kind of odd. You'd think it'd be a more utility based thing, but maybe we like consume two corpses, do something like this. Maybe be something like that. I have no idea. You could even see them add relic support, something like that for Demon Hunter. They could reuse a mechanic like that, similar to the SI mechanic. And of course, they could reuse the old mechanic of Infuse, as well as the keywords from the latest expansion, which is Mana Thirst. You also just have undeads in general doing this, like after your undeads died, all that stuff. So let's get into it class by class. What do I want to see come for each class? Each class gets 3 cards, including 2 classes typically get a legendary, and then there's usually 2 neutral legendaries as well as a few neutral cards. So for Deathlight, I'd love to see a colossal, I'd love to see a location. I'd be surprised if we don't get them, and Deathlight's gonna look really spectacular. It's already like the best class in the game. It might get out of control pretty soon, and they might have to dial it back, but for now, I'm gonna enjoy it. And if there was like one specific specific rune I'd love to see support for that third card, it would be Blood. Blood's the one that's struggling the most. Maybe give them something exciting to work with, but a big Colossal location might do wonders already. Demon Hunter, I'd say the Outcast stuff, it's actually not as far off as you think. It's actually tier 2 deck in Wild. We might talk about that in a future video, but probably some more Outcast support. I don't know if you would really want to enter a new Relic at this point. That seems a little bit scary. Plus Zmox says all 3 relics, so I don't think that would work too well, but really give them some Outcast support would be really nice, or more demon things, because they got one big demon that was it in the expansion, and that has been an archetype throughout the year that just hasn't panned out. Maybe just a cool big demon enabler that actually gets that archetype moving. Druid, I wouldn't really go too far down the road of what they have, which is armor and like aggro token with undeads. I'd like to see more support for Death Rattle. We saw a lot of Death Rattle stuff in the last set, Nathria, with the location, and none of that's worked out. And maybe a cool Death Rattle minion could help revisit that as a greatest hit of the year. Hunter needs like another arcane spell. They need an arcane spell. There's not enough arcane support. I think it's a really cool designed style of thing they did with like hand buffing arcane spells. There's just not enough there. So the mini set could help rectify that a little bit. You could add 2 arcane style cards out of the 3, and I'd be perfectly okay with that. Age, I feel like just another big, dumb, goofy casino card could work out pretty well. Although this buff, like in general, you take a look at this, it's kind of wrecking wild with Quest Mage. A little bit scary, but I'd love to see more of the big spell stuff. Or, as a fan favorite for me, I'd love to see like a cool Naga. It's similar to like Sunken City. We haven't seen Naga Mage work since that nerf back in the day, and I would just like to see more Naga stuff. I think Naga Mage was a really cool archetype, and I would like to re-explore that if possible. Paladin, it feels like they could use a cool mech. Like the Sunken City mechs were pretty iconic and fell off pretty hard, and I could see them getting a cool mech, maybe another dragon to go along with everything, because again, dragons are not quite there, and who doesn't love a good dragon? So for me, Paladin support, I just like to see a dragon or a mech, honestly. The honorable mention to maybe just another cool pure card, just to put that whole package together. You can have 1 pure card, 1 mech, 1 dragon. I'd be really damn happy. And for Priest, I gotta say, I could see another Naga popping up if Mage doesn't get one, or maybe they both get one to kind of revisit those archetypes, because Naga Priest was pretty iconic, pretty good throughout the year, and I guess they'll probably get another AoE or hard removal, because that's what Priest always gets. Rogue terrifies me, because like, are they gonna give them more concoction support? That stuff is so good already. Maybe they go down the Death Rattle road, because I mean, it hasn't worked out other than when they nerfed it immediately, because it was like breaking the game. I could see them adding just a cool different little pirate, maybe not like a big aggressive one, but another pirate similar to what we saw during the Sunken City. But I'm not gonna lie, looking at Rogue, I'm just like hoping it doesn't break the game in some way, because every package they got throughout the year was kind of insane in some way. It wouldn't take too much to put it over the top, so we'll have to see what they do. But for me personally, I probably like a Death Rattle thing, maybe a cool pirate, but nothing really to support the miracle and concoction stuff, as I think it's good enough already. Shaman needs more Death Rattle support. They made this whole Death Rattle archetype that doesn't work whatsoever. It feels like it needs at least a couple of pieces, as well as Big Shaman. Again, not really coming together outside of like the Evolve scam. So I'd like to see those 2 archetypes fleshed out just a little bit more, that just don't rely on, you know, scamming Evolves and all of that, especially with Null rotating pretty soon. And Warlock, Discard Warlock in Standard is so bad that it might get more support, where it's so busted and Wild that we could have the inevitable, oh look, we got a Warlock card to get banned in Wild from a mini set or an expansion. But yeah, Discard Warlock not working like almost at all. Death Rattle outside of the Mine Warlock, which you don't really want to buff, hasn't seen much work. So Warlock is like a scary one, where I feel like, okay, maybe we just go to the undead route, or we go back to like Sunken City and give them Murlocs, since we introduced Murloc Warlock, and that has seen no support pretty much the entire way. And last, I'll just say with Warrior, give control tools. Like, Enraged Warrior is like a tier 1/2 deck. People just don't like playing it that much. It's good. Let's see some cool control tools. Maybe just a big dumb idiot that just can win games for control. I don't know, but I would like to see some late game stuff, or make this taunt package make a little bit more sense for Warrior, because as it stands, it's really Enrage or Bust, and right now you can take a look at HS just replay win rates. It's kind of been a big bust for the most part, and I won't predict on neutrals. You guys can do that because they can just do whatever they want for neutrals. They can bring in another neutral colossal. They could bring in a neutral location. Who knows? Let you guys speculate in the comments below, but I am suspecting we will find out what the cards will start to look like on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.